Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Plowman, and I am the program coordinator for the University of Texas at Austin Paralegal Certificate Program. Welcome to the Paralegal Space walkthrough webinar. Thank you so much for attending this evening to get acclimated with the site prior to your first class tomorrow. We're so looking forward to having a great semester at UT and really appreciate your attendance here this evening. The website has all sorts of amazing resources for you, and you'll submit all of your assignments and take all of your exams on the site as well. So it is really important that you're comfortable with it, you're familiar with it, and that's why we like doing these walkthroughs prior to the start of class. Now, a couple of housekeeping matters before we get started. This system is incredibly sensitive, so everybody's audio is turned off. Otherwise, we would hear everybody's dogs barking or lives in the background. So if you have questions, and we're always ready, willing, and able to answer questions about the site, please do feel free to type them into the questions box on your GoToWebinar kind of toolbar on your screen, and those questions will pop up on my screen and I will be able to answer them for you. Please note that we're going to be going through a lot of information tonight, so don't feel as if you have to soak it all in at once and become experts by the time this webinar is over. I'm going to follow up with a lot of announcements, just kind of recapping everything that we've gone through tonight. So please don't worry if you didn't understand something right away or can't remember after we log off where something is. Either reach out and I will point you in the right direction, or you can expect an announcement at some point soon. Now, with me this evening is Program Coordinator from University of Texas, Alexandra Gilmore, as well as Veronica Chukna, who is going to be your Essential Skills Instructor for the course of the semester. So, Xandra, Veronica, any words of wisdom before we get started tonight? And I know both of you are going to meet all of the students tomorrow night, so you'll be
Yes.
able to put the names with faces. But if you'd like to go
Mhm.
ahead and say hello or say anything now, by all
So,
means.
so hi, this is Xandra. I'm the program coordinator that most of you have probably been corresponding with in your journey to register for the program. I'm excited to meet everyone in person tomorrow night. I think Stephanie is going to talk about the few things you're going to need to bring to class. So I'll see you guys there.
Hi, this is Veronica. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Can y'all hear me, Stephanie and Xandra?
Yes.
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
can.
I got my headset to work. So this is Veronica, and I'm sure I've probably seen or talked to many of you at the informational sessions, and I'm excited to start the class tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I just wanted to tell everyone, don't be anxious. It'll be a great class, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Oh,
Excellent.
one more thing I'd like to add is if anybody has not checked their email from me, we're going to print out your name tents that are going to sit on your desk through the whole course. If you have a nickname you want to go by that you want to be on your name tent and you haven't emailed me yet, email me before tomorrow morning and I'll make sure it's on your name tent.
Wonderful. All right. Do check your email for paralegal emails. Make sure that paralegal emails also are going to your inbox and not your spam folder. Unfortunately, that does happen sometimes, especially Hotmail addresses. Hotmail hates my address. My email is svp@paralegalspace.com, and Hotmail absolutely hates me for some reason. So please be sure that, that you are getting your paralegal emails to your inbox. Okay, thank you so much, ladies. I know you're looking forward to meeting everyone tomorrow night. And with that all being said and all of our introductions out of the way, why don't we get started talking about Paralegal Space. Now, all of you should have received an email from me with your Paralegal Space login information. If you have not, of course, as I just said, check your spam folder to see if it's there. If it's not, please do email me at svp@paralegalspace.com and I'll be happy to assist you. However, when you are logging into the site, for the most part, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but for the most part, your username is going to be your first initial and last name and the password of password. Now that everybody knows everyone else's password, the first thing we are going to do is update our password for the site. Now, this first page that you're looking at as soon as you log on to ParalegalSpace is your workspace. And there are only two things that you are going to do on your workspace. The first of which is update your password. To do that, you're going to click on the Account tab. Then you will click on Modify Details, enter your current password of password, and then create and verify a new password. Once you're done, click on Update Details, and moving forward, you will log into the site with your new and improved password. Now, if at any point in time you are ever locked out of the site, you try to log in and you get an invalid login message, please do feel free to reach out to me and ask for a password reset. There's no way to reset your password from outside of the site. So I will reset that for you. It's probably one of the easiest emails I get in life, the password reset emails. So please do reach out to me and I will get you back on the site within no time. Now, the other thing that you are going to do on your workspace is under the Preferences tab. And this is where you are going to update your time zone. Now, the paralegal program, in addition to University of Texas at Austin, is taught at universities around the country. And in developing the website, our tech team advised us everyone has to start off on the same time zone. Now they're in Arizona and they're on Mountain Time, but they are the only people on Mountain Time who use the site. So we all need to adjust to our local time zone. So to do so, again, click on Preferences, and then you'll click on Time Zone. Now, I'm actually not even on Pacific Time. I was going to say I'm on Eastern Time. I was going to say I'm on Eastern Time. Apparently I'm on Pacific Time as far as ParalegalSpace is concerned, but you all want to be on Central Time. So what you're going to choose is US/Central, US/Central. You are then going to click on Update Preferences and you will be good to go. Now, it is very important that you are on the correct time zone. Again, as I mentioned earlier, and we're going to get into this a lot more tonight, all of your assignments and exams are posted on ParalegalSpace. You need to submit your work on ParalegalSpace, and you certainly don't want to be closed out of anything if it closes early on you because you are in the wrong zone. So US Central it is. Now again, that's it. That's all you're going to do on your workspace. Everything else you will find it under your UTexas Summer 2016 link at the top of the page. Now basically what we're going to do tonight, and I see a lot of you are already on the site, so that's good. I'm so glad that you've been clicking around and hopefully familiarizing yourself with the various resources and tabs and such. Again, I'm going to post follow-up announcements with literally almost everything we're talking about tonight. So again, ask questions as they come up, but don't feel as if you have to be experts by the time we finish the walkthrough tonight. Now, there's so much going on ParalegalSpace, and really at the outset, it is an area where we will communicate with you. You can see here we already started communicating with announcements. We love to communicate with announcements. When an announcement is posted, you will get an email notification with the body of the announcement. Again, that's why it's so important to ensure that paralegal emails are going to your inbox. Also, I should note when you're updating your password, please make sure that the email entered into ParalegalSpace is the email that you would like to use for all paralegal emails, because the announcement emails will go there as well. But we do love to communicate with you via announcement. It's a great way to get a message to the entire class at once. And also, once you log onto the site, you can see any recent announcements. Now, if you want to take a look at past announcements that have been posted over the course of the semester, and the semester is only starting tomorrow, but we do have a couple posted already. If for some reason, however, you find 3 months from now you would really like to take a look at my words of wisdom and my welcome announcement, it'll still be there for you. Click on the Announcements tab, And again, this isn't going to show up very well right now because we are only viewing one to four of four. However, by clicking in this drop-down box, you can show additional items. So you can take a look at every single announcement that was posted from, the beginning of the posting until the bitter end of the semester and thereafter. But please do pay attention to the announcements. We do convey important information to you via announcement. So if you're not checking in your email, please be sure every time you log onto the site to take a look at the announcements over here and make sure that you have picked up on the information in them. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is just click through each one of these tabs and see what they're all about. Now, the first one is the syllabus tab. Here you will find your main program syllabus, which is going to break down all of the information that you will need for essential skills over the course of the semester, what all of your reading assignments are, when your first writing assignments are going to be due, the schedule, etc. Now for Essentials tomorrow, you're going to read chapters 1 and 2 in volume 1 of your textbook. Now for tort law, we do need to still post your tort law syllabus, so I will get on that tomorrow. However, if you read at least chapters 1 through 3 and possibly chapter 4, you will be in good form. Now, the syllabus tab is pretty self-explanatory. It's where you will find the syllabi for your various classes. So in addition to the main program syllabus, which we just looked at, the tort law syllabus is to come, and then procedures and contracts when we get there. Now, the parastudent login, this is where the study support is. This tab I go through in a little greater detail, so I like to save it towards the end and get through kind of the other easier ones first. Gradebook, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's empty right now, but as your grades come in, they will be posted in your gradebook. When a grade is posted in your gradebook, you will get a notification letting you know that it is there and it is available to you. So over the course of the semester, this will fill up. Now, resources. This is an area of the site where we will post additional resources for you to help you over the course of the semester. So you can see there's already a lot posted here right now, so I would encourage you at your leisure to click around and see what's available. You'll find PowerPoints for your Essential Skills class, additional helpful items in the Essential Skills folder, your contract law PowerPoints, tort law, all sorts of information. Here is a direct link to your Essential Skills Manual. So if you do not have the hard copy books, you can come in here to Resources and click on the Essential Skills link right here, and you'll be able to access PDF versions of the books as you await those hard copies. I just got a question in regard to your first reading for Essential Skills. The Essential Skills readings come from the text that come in the bundle. Yes, that is correct. Your Essential Skills volumes 1 and 2, those are your books for Essential Skills class. So when you are looking on the syllabus and you see in the reading, you need to read from volume 1, chapters 1 and 2. That's going to come from those Essential Skills books in the bundle, those black books. Again, you can also find electronic versions of the books under this Essential Skills for Paralegals Manuals link. So again, if you don't yet have your books or you don't want to drag them around with you, but would like to, be able to maybe read at work, during lunch, of course, you can access them from here. Okay, assignments. Now, all of your assignments will be posted on ParalegalSpace, submitted on ParalegalSpace, and your instructors will grade them and then post your grades on ParalegalSpace. Before I keep going, I just want to answer one more question. As far as torts is concerned, it's either chapters 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 for your first torts class on Thursday night. I think it's more likely 4, but off the top of my head, I'm drawing a blank right now. If you read 1 through 4, you'll be pretty safe. If you read 1 through 3, you'll be fine as well. But we'll make sure that that syllabus is posted for you tomorrow. Or I'll post an announcement after class tonight. I'll look it up after, not class, we're not in class, but after the webinar tonight, I'll post an announcement. I'll take a look at the syllabus and post that for you just so you can plan your reading week accordingly. All right, so back to assignments. Everything is going to be posted on ParalegalSpace. So when an assignment is posted for you to review and to prepare you for your submission, you will see that an announcement will pop up under recent announcements. And I did post a practice assignment just so you can familiarize yourself with online submissions. But you will see that an announcement will appear under recent announcements, assignment, open date for, and then whichever assignment it is. For some reason, and the tech team never quite explained this to me as well as they could have, however, these announcements are not automatically emailed to you when they are posted. So again, that's why it's important to not only check your email for announcements, but to also just, scan the recent announcements on the site when you log in just to see what's there. The assignment open date announcements will just appear under recent announcements, and they'll usually appear at the bottom. So just scan each time you log on. But once an assignment is posted, you'll see this assignment open date announcement, and this is basically your cue to come on over to the assignments tab and take a look at the posted assignment. Now, again, this is a practice assignment. This is just so you can familiarize yourself with the process. If there's any troubleshooting that we need to do, if you have any submission issues, it's always so much easier to troubleshoot and to deal with those issues when it's not an actual assignment that's being posted and 5 minutes before it's due. So I would strongly encourage everyone to give this a try at least once. And of course, if you have any issues or any problems or anything like that, please do let me know, and I'm happy to work with you to ensure that you have a smooth submission process when it comes to your quote-unquote real assignments. But once you click into assignments and click on the link for the assignment, the first thing you're going to want to look at is when is your assignment due. Now this one, obviously the due date I set out very, very far. This is just a practice. You can do it as many times as you want. But your actual assignments are going to have definite due dates. And of course, due dates are incredibly important in the law. So please do keep very close track of the due date. Your work is due on or before that due date and time. This is where time zone comes into play. Due date and time. Now, if you were to try to submit a practice assignment on December 3rd, 2016 at 4:01 p.m., you would find that this link back here, this link for practice assignment, would no longer be available because the assignment had closed. So you want to submit your work on or before both the due date and time. And again, it really is so important in the law to keep track of your due dates. If a judge were to submit a motion schedule, to set a motion schedule for you, and you submitted your motion the day after it was due or did not submit it the day it was due, the judge is not going to call you and ask, hey, where's your motion? It was due today. I didn't get it. The judge is simply going to rule against you, or even worse, rule against your client. So you do want to make sure that you do submit your work on time. Now you do have a 1-week grace period within which to submit your work, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more when we get into the formula for success for the program. However, it is with a points deduction. So please, please do submit your work on time. If for some reason you do need to submit it in within that grace period, please do just drop me a line and let me know, because again, the assignment will close and we will have to reopen the assignment for you for your submission. So after you've looked at the due date, you're going to take a look at the assignment instructions. and sometimes an assignment also will be posted as an attachment, so you can take a look at that, see what the assignment is all about. And then you will both copy and paste your work, your assignment, into this text box, and you will attach it as a document, a Word document preferably. So both copy and paste and also attach. So the main problems I sometimes see when I have to troubleshoot for students who have submission issues, it will take a long time to copy and paste, so there'll be extra code in this text box. I paste everything on ParalegalSpace by first clicking in the paste as plain text box. It does sometimes lose your formatting, but it will assist with any kind of extra code or anything like that that you may be experiencing. But I would say give it a try. If you have any issues, reach out and let me know, and I'll work with you individually with that. But please also be sure to attach your work as a Word document, and that's just like attaching a document to an email, so no big deal. And then click in the honor pledge box right here that you have neither given nor received any aid on the assignment. All of your work is your own. There are no group projects, nothing like that. So you are verifying that you've done your assignment on your own, and then you can go ahead and click on submit. Now when you click on submit, the next page that comes up will be a thank you for your submission type message. So you will know that you have successfully submitted your work. Now if you're not quite ready to submit your work, you can save it as a draft. If you want to see what it looks like from our end, from like the admin and instructor end, you can preview it. If you do either of those prior to submission, please do be sure that you ultimately do submit your work. Now, again, if you want to ensure that your work has submitted properly, also and this I should note, these little blue arrows, it's kind of like a back button. It's the ParalegalSpace back button. But if you do want to make sure that your work has submitted properly, even if you've gotten, or even when you've gotten the assignment submission page pop up for you, you can just click back in here to assignments, and over here to the right of the assignment under status, it'll let you know what your status is. So here, not started because I haven't done anything on this assignment. However, if your assignment has successfully submitted, it will say submitted. If it's in draft form, it will say draft. So you'll be able to keep track of what your status is. Now your first assignment that will be due will be your tort law assignment, and that will be, towards the end of tort law, so we still have about a month or so before you need to worry about that. But prior to that assignment being submitted, again, I will post an announcement just kind of recapping what we discussed right now in regard to submissions. But I would strongly encourage everyone to try the practice submission at least once. And if you need any assistance or any troubleshooting, please do reach out to me, and I'm happy to help. All right, the other major thing you're going to do online, tests and quizzes. Just like the assignment, I have posted a practice test for you to take. Again, it doesn't count for anything. You can do it as many times as you want. It's graded, quote unquote, so you can see how the whole ParalegalSpace auto grade system works. But it's not a grade that counts for anything. It is just a way for you to familiarize yourself with online test taking, because again, it's much easier to troubleshoot any kind of issues you may be having prior to taking an actual test or even mid-test. So again, I would encourage you to take this as well. All of your exams will be online on ParalegalSpace via this tests and quizzes tab. When an exam is available to you, we will post an announcement letting you know your tort law exam window is now open. It will remain open until such and such date and time. Again, time, it's where the time zone comes into play again. So at any point in time during that window, and the window is generally 1 week, at any point in time during that 1 week window, you can take your exam. So whether it be at work, at home, wherever you want, you can take the exam. Just need to make sure you need to take it within that window. Once the window has closed, it's closed. You would have to reach out to us and let us know why you missed the window for us to reopen the exam. So when you are ready to take an exam, you will click on Tests and Quizzes, and then you will click on the link for the exam. The first thing you are going to see are the exam instructions. They'll generally let you know this is a 1-hour exam, this is a 50-question exam, etc., and what to do, who to reach out to in the event of any issues. And then, hint, that would be me. But when you are ready to start your exam, you will click on Begin Assessment. Now basically what we're going to do is we're just going to click this through to the end because there are a couple functions I would like to bring to your attention so you know what they're all about. In the past when I did webinars, I very seriously took the exam every single time and read through each question, but our time is valuable. I stopped doing that. So now we're going to literally see this one through. So we're going to choose C for absolutely every question. So basically each question is on a separate page. You will answer the question and then you will click on next to move to the next question. I should also point out to you that there is a countdown clock at the top of the page here. Some people find it helpful, some people find it mocking. You can hide it if you want, or you can keep it open. So we're rolling through this exam, answering and clicking next, answering and clicking next. But let's say you get to a question and you think it's the answer, but you're not entirely sure. You don't want to waste a lot of time sitting on the page and staring at it, but you would like to come back and take a look to make sure that you've answered it correctly. So you can click on Mark for Review and then move on to the next. So we'll continue seeing this through. Now let's say you come to a question and you have absolutely no idea what the answer is. You don't even want to wager a guess. So what do? All right, we're going to just mark it for review. I don't even want to guess. I don't want to waste time. I'm going to mark it for review and then click on next. So now we're at the end of the exam, so it's time to submit for grading. However, we have marked questions for review. So it would be really annoying if we had to click back through the entire exam. This one's only 10 questions, but all of your exams for the program will be 50 questions. So if you mark number 1 for review, that would be horrible if you had to click back through each page. You do not. Click on Table of Contents here at the top of the page, then click on this black arrow, and each one of the questions will come up, and each one is a direct link. So if you have marked a question for review, you will see either a question mark or an arrow. And I just got a question, do you recommend we save after each question? No, if you just click next, that'll lock it in. But right now, when we're going to go back and take a look at the questions we've marked for review, that's when the save button is going to come into play. But as you are working through the exam, just as a matter of course, one question after the next until you get to the end, and then maybe you want to go back for review, you just have to click next and your answers will lock in. But that's a good question. That's a good segue for me to get into how Mark for Review works. So once you've clicked on your black arrow and each link comes up and you see which questions you've marked, you'll click on the link for that particular question. Now I think I want to change the answer to this question, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to unmark it for review. I'm going to save it to lock it in. And then I'm going to go back up to Table of Contents because I'm not clicking through this entire exam again. Go back up to Table of Contents, click on the arrow, and get back to that next question I marked. So that's where save will come into play. Save comes into play during Mark for Review. So now let's click on this one that I did not answer. I am going to answer it now. I'm going to save it to lock it in, and I'm going to go back up to my table of contents. And now I'm good. I don't have any more marked for review. I feel good about things. I mean, I shouldn't because not every answer is C on this exam, but that's okay. It's just for demonstration process. And now I'm going to submit for grading. So the site is going to ask you if you're 100% sure you'd like to submit for grading. Yes, I am. And then you will get a thank you for your submission message. And this is very similar to the thank you for your submission type message that you will get after you have submitted an assignment. Now, just give me 1 second. 1 second, please hold. Okay. Pets do not like listening to me on a webinar, or being locked in with me, I should say. Anyway, my apologies. Okay, so this is very similar to the submission message that you will get once you have also submitted an assignment successfully. Now, the day after your exam window closes, you can click back in and take a look at the exam and review it, and you can see what you got right, you can see what you got wrong, etc. As soon as you have submitted your exam, the site will auto-grade it. So you'll know your grade right away, and your grade will be posted to your gradebook. But it's not until the day after the exam window closes that you will be able to review the exam and see what you got wrong. To do so, you'll click on Tests and Quizzes, and then underneath Submitted Assessments, you'll see whatever exam it was that you took, and you'll be able to click on Feedback and review the entire exam. Now, one of these days I'm going to reset this exam so the correct answer is in fact C, but I have not quite gotten to that yet. So now your first exam is going to be your tort law exam. Again, that's not going to be for another good month or so. So prior to that exam, I will post an online exam tips announcement. But please do take the practice exam. Take it as many times as you want. Make sure you're comfortable with it. And you understand the whole process. And of course, if you have any questions or problems, let me know. Okay, moving right along, Westlaw and Lexis. Everybody loves Westlaw and Lexis. Now you will be getting your Westlaw and Lexis codes either towards the end of this week or very early next week. When they are available to you, when they are ready, I'm going to post them in your Dropbox here on ParalegalSpace, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. I will post them in your Dropbox, and when something is posted there, you will get an email notification letting you know it is available. I will also post an announcement letting you know your codes are available. Your Westlaw codes are good for the duration of the program. Your Lexis codes are good for 1 year from your start date. So you will have Lexis access until August 1st, 2017. So that's always nice. Via these two links, you can click on the left-hand link to go directly to Westlaw or Lexis. On the right-hand side, you can log into both databases to take a look at their wonderful online training. Westlaw and Lexis, they both updated over the past 1.5 to 2 years. So I can't even give my updated speech anymore because they've done away with their older versions. But the versions that we're using, the quote-unquote new versions of Westlaw and Lexis, are so streamlined and so amazing. And in putting those databases together, both companies did also put together amazing resources and amazing tutorials for users to take a look at. So there are training guides, there are, maybe little 5-minute or so videos, how to find a statute, how to find a case, things like that. We do strongly encourage you to make use of the various tutorials and resources on the respective sites, Westlaw and Lexis. They really are so incredibly helpful, and especially if you're new to both databases, just to help you get started and start clicking around. Again, as I mentioned, the new versions, and they're really not that new anymore, but the new versions are much more streamlined than Westlaw and Lexis used to be. They really are more akin to Google for Lawyers these days, but there's still lots of places to look. There's still lots of ways to kind of get off track when you're researching, which is totally fine, especially as you're learning. I mean, I've been practicing law for 15 years, and there are still days where I get get completely off track when I'm researching, and that's just kind of the way it goes. So especially as you are learning, it's fine. Don't, put a lot of pressure on yourself to find that perfect case the first search that you do. This is your opportunity to learn, to figure it all out, to play around on both sites and get comfortable on them. You have access to both because you don't know what you're going to get in practice. So while they are substantially similar, they are also both very expensive in practice. So law firms tend to have one or the other. So that's why you learn both, because you don't know what you're going to get out there. So those Westlaw and Lexis codes, those will be generated and provided to you again later this week or early next week. When the Lexis codes are generated, you will receive an email directly from Lexis with your codes. Westlaw doesn't do that, but Lexis does. So that will kind of be your cue. Within another day or so, I will post both sets of codes for you in your Dropbox. It's a good segue to talk about the Dropbox a little bit. This is an area of the site where your instructors or administrators can post things for you. It is also where you can post things for yourself. If you found a template on the site that you would like to take a look at again, if you found a case you would like to take a look at again, please do post them in your Dropbox. You are the only one who knows that something is in your Dropbox, so please do not post your assignments here because no one else will know they're there. But when something is posted in your Dropbox, it will be, you will get an automatic email notification letting you know that it is available. And again, that's why you're the only one who knows it's there, because you get the email. Now, the reality is the main thing that we as the administrators and instructors post in your Dropbox for you will be your Westlaw and Lexis codes. So be on the lookout for those later this week or early next. And as I mentioned, I will also post an announcement to let you know that they are available. Now, messages. This is an internal ParalegalSpace email function. It is very handy if you don't know the email address for whomever you are looking to email. But there are two caveats in using this particular system. So if you would like to send a message, you'll click on Compose Message. You can choose your participant up here. All participants are all students, all instructors, instructor role, student role, pretty self-explanatory, all instructors, all students. If you would like to write to someone, you will highlight their name. If you would like to write to more than one person, click on Control and then highlight their name as well. Now, the first caveat in using this system, always, 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 please, I can't stress this enough, please click in the send a copy of this message to recipient's email address. This will ensure that your recipient gets an email notification with the body of the message so they know right away that they have a message. If you do not click in that box, if you do not check off that box, your recipient will not know that you have sent them a message unless and until they next log into the site and affirmatively check the Messages tab. So if you need immediate assistance from, say, an administrator or an instructor, you want to make sure that they get that email right away. So please do always check in that box. Now, the other caveat in using this system is once you've checked in that box and the copy is sent to your recipient's email address, the sender of that email will be postmaster@paralegalspace.com. So your recipient will not be able to respond directly from his or her email. They'll have to come into Paralegal and affirmatively check on the Messages tab to take a look at that message and respond to it. Again, it is a good way to reach out to folks if you don't have their email address close at hand. Your instructors will let you know in class what their preferred method of communication is, and will certainly give you a direct email address for you to use to reach out to them. But if you do choose to use this internal system, please do always check in this box right here. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Click, add a subject, and then type your message in the text box and go ahead and send. All right, the chat room. The chat room is there for you to use or not use as you see fit. It's a way for you all to chat with each other, to talk about what's going on in class, what you're learning. The only thing we ask is that you are, of course, respectful and nice in the chat room. Don't go crazy in the chat room. In another program, we had a student go crazy in the chat room. I was the only one who thought it was amusing in any way, shape, or form. I was alone in that feeling. So please do use the chat room for good as opposed to evil. And it is a great place to chat with each other and kind of talk, just bond over the law, really. Talk about what's going on in class and what you're working on and such. A lot of students will get in here and start setting up study groups and such. So, it is there for you to use or not use as you see fit. All right, Dropbox, we already talked about that. Study support help. This is another area of the site to help you with everything that you're learning in the program. Sometimes things won't come up right away, so if you just click on that little arrow at the top there, it will. But over here on the left-hand side, you'll see content, search, glossary. Contents, this little arrow is so annoying. Contents will bring up a table of contents of commonly searched terms. So if you are having a problem with arbitration or you want to know more about it, you can click on that link and learn all about arbitration over here on the right-hand side. I just finished an arbitration, so I must have subconsciously chosen that one. Search if you are having a problem with, say, hearsay. You can type in hearsay and let's see what comes up. Everything relevant to hearsay, and then click on that link and learn all about it on the right hand side. And then glossary is there we go, kind of a little online legal dictionary to assist you. You click on the term at the top, and down here at the bottom you will see the definition just to assist you with the terms that you're going to be learning. You're going to be learning a lot of new vocabulary, a lot of new words, a whole new lexicon to impress your families with at parties and such. But it can be like learning a foreign language, and not because there is a lot of Latin involved. So just know when you're learning the various terms and vocabulary and such in the law and in your essential skills class, it's all going to come up in context over the course of the semester. So don't let it drive you crazy. There is, there's a lot of Latin in the law. There's a lot of terms that you'll probably have heard online just in watching on watching TV, Law and Order, things like that. But don't let it get the best of you. Just know that it comes up again and again over the course of the semester. All right, textbook orders. This is where you can find information about ordering your books for the program. The Essential Skills books are a required purchase through the program because they do include technology fees for Westlaw, Lexis, and the website. So please do order them through the textbook orders link. Your substantive books, torts, contracts, and procedures, you can order these wherever you want. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get them new, you can get them used, you can rent them, get Nook and Kindle editions, whatever works best for you. Also, you are of course starting torts on Thursday, so you will need that book first, but procedures and contracts you're not going to need right away, so you can space out those book orders. Okay, now let's get to the Paris student login, the one I saved for the end. Now, and of course, if you have any questions as we're going through, please do feel free to type away. Again, I'm going to be following up with so much of this via announcement, but please do feel free to type any questions you may have. Now, the Para-Student Login is where you are going to find study support for each one of your classes. Now, Texas Procedures is the only class where you will not find the same structured study support as you do for the rest of the classes, but your instructor will post additional resources for you either via announcement or via the resources tab. That's the one class that's developed by each individual instructor. So again, we don't have the same formal support for you, but we do give you additional resources. But for essentials, torts, and contracts, you will find support that tracks each one of the chapters in your textbook. So what you're going to do first is you're going to have to register as a UT summer paralegal. Um, so before we even get to that, there are just a couple things I want to bring to your attention in regard to registering. Now, once you register, the site will track the time that you are spending within the study support. And this is both for your benefit and also for us to help you if you're having a problem in the program or with the materials. Now, as campus students, you are quote unquote required to log 260 hours over the course of the semester working through the study support. And often when I do these walkthroughs in person, students like mouths just drop open and they look at me like I'm crazy. 260 hours seems like such a long time. It's actually not. It goes by faster than you would think. There is a lot on here to work through. We also encourage you to log into the support so that clock can tick for you no matter what you're doing for the program, whether it's reading, researching outside of paralegal space, working on your writing assignments. Really the most important thing though is to not get hyper-focused on the time spent on the site. I say that 260 hours is quote unquote required because it is required in the same sense that going to class, turning your assignments in on time, taking your exams on time are required. It is not a program completion requirement, which we will talk about once we get into the formula for success. So don't get hyper-focused on the clock. If you have any problems with it, if you don't feel like it is adequately reflecting the time that you have spent on the site, please do let me know. We can manually adjust it from this end. It's not a problem. But don't, I'll sometimes get emails. I was on the study support for 10 minutes and it only clocked me in for 9. Well, okay, I'll add an extra minute for you. But again, don't get hyper focused on the clock. It is, again, it's there for you to keep track to make sure that you are working through everything that is available to you and you are putting into the program everything that you should to succeed. You do get out of the program what you put into it. So it is important to work through all the materials available to you. But it's also helpful to us if someone is having a problem. We can, the main suggestion might be you need to spend more time on the study support. So again, please do work through the support, not because your time is being tracked when you log on to it, but because it is important and it is helpful as you're working through the materials. So with that being said, once you click on the Study Support tab, you're going to click on this blue lock, and the first thing you are going to do is register as a UTexas Summer Paralegal. So we're going to click here to register, and you're going to enter your name and an email. So let me just come up with one for these purposes. Your email and a password. Now, when you select your university, of course, you're going to select UT Austin. And when you select your program, you are going to select UT Austin Summer on Campus. Now, if you have already registered for the study support and for some reason you picked a different section or picked online or just went off the grid completely with it, it's not a problem. Just reach out to me, let me know, and I can easily switch your registration on this end. Then you will agree with the terms and conditions, and then you will register. Oh no, I'm already using this one. What are the odds that I would already be using this one? All right, let's do Texas Summer. Okay, SVP at Texas Summer 2016. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. SVP at Texas Summer 2016. Oops, 2016.com. and my password. Now, for the study support, if you have forgotten your password, there is a forgot password link right here. You can also, as you will for so many things over the course of the program, you can reach out to me directly and I can very easily retrieve your password for you. That is not a problem. But once you've entered your email and your password, you're going to log in. Now, the first thing I would suggest you do, or at least some point as you are acclimating yourself, click on website features and take a look at what everything is about, how to use it on your iPad, how to Zoom, whatever you'd like to take a look at here, just the various functions of the study support. Then you can see here at the top of the page, there are various tabs. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Essential Skills. Now, your essential skills materials are broken down by segment. And if you take a look at your syllabus, you will see what segment you are reading within. So for instance, segment A covers volume 1, chapters 1 through 6. And you'll get into segment B and you can see what they cover and so on. But you are going to work through the materials segment by segment. So what we recommend is that you read the materials prior to coming to class, come to class and listen to and participate in the lectures, and then work through the corresponding study support. So if you are in segment A, you'll click on the tab for segment A and take a look at the materials here in the middle, the Getting Started materials, and then basically work through each one of these links over here on the right-hand side, corresponding support for each chapter. Now, the support builds upon what you're learning in class, it enhances it, it explains it. It is incredibly helpful. It's designed to integrate with your in-class experience. So please do utilize the study support. Just got a question about the tracker. As soon as you log into ParaStudent, the clock starts. Yes, it's not when you log on to ParalegalSpace itself, it's when you log into ParaStudent that it starts. Okay, now once you have worked through the support for a particular segment, there are several additional links down here below the last bit of support for that last chapter. The first one is the segment wrap-up, and this is where you can start testing yourself on the material that you have just worked through. So we'll start off with a series of Quizlets, I hate that word, but little quizzes, where you can test yourself on the material. These you can take as many times as you want. They're for you. They're for your review. No one is seeing them, just to help you review, pinpoint areas where you still may need help or where you are experts. Now, once you have finished working through the Quizlets, you can take then the next stage of practice exams, the segment portal quiz. And then over here, the next link, or one of the next links you'll see is mock exams and some additional exams that you will take to test yourself on the material. Now, you can, again, take these mock exams, Quizlets, etc. as many times as you would like, really whenever you would like. If you would like to take them as you are completing a particular segment, if you would like to take them prior to your first essential skills exam, really whatever works best for you in your course of study and review. And I see we have another question, and I'm going to get to you in a minute. Oh, okay, well, one student, are you being tracked now? If you have logged into the study support, if you've logged into ParaStudent with your email address and your password that you created, then yes, in fact, the clock is ticking right now. It is, thank you for your sense of humor. It is 260 hours within the study support that you need to track. 360 hours is for online students. Campus students, it's 260. And again, nobody is staring at the amount of hours that you are, that you are spending on the site. It is something that various programs asked us to add to the site several years ago, just as a way for, again, you as the students to keep track to make sure that you're putting the time in, but also for us. Again, when students have an issue, sometimes it can be hard to pinpoint where the problem might lie. So it does help us, help you if you are having an issue, come up with a plan to assist you work through the materials or organize better. So, but again, don't be hyper focused on the clock. Just the most important thing is working through the materials and your understanding of the materials. Okay, then you'll also see there is a where you've been link down here. Where you've been, this is for your convenience, just to keep track of where you've been, to make sure you have worked through the various support over here on the right hand side. So if you've been somewhere, the little dot will be green. If you have not been somewhere, it will be red. Now this is simply a convenience for you. If you would like to use where you've been, you can. If you don't want to use it, you do not have to. If you do want to use it, please be sure to have cookies enabled on your computer. Otherwise, your computer will not be able to let you know where you've been. But again, just a convenience for you. You're the only one who can actually see where you've been. So if you want to keep track. All right, that is the essential skills study support. Once you are comfortable with segment A, segments B through F are structured in the exact same way. So you will be able to do the walkthrough for me next semester. Now, there are two more tabs I want to go through here, and then we just got a question, where's the clock? So I will show you that once we are done going through the other two tabs, so you can check your time. Now, for your substantive classes, this is where you will find the support for torts and contracts law. A secure login is required to access these materials, but you can see the username and password right here. And you'll only have to log in the first time on a particular computer. You will only be the site will only request it the first time you log in. So click on tort law, because that's what we're going to start with. I've already entered it in here because I've done this so many times, paralegal and student, and here we go. Now you can see here at the top of the page there are links for each chapter. So whichever chapter you are working on, again, once you have read through the materials in the book, and again, really, however it works best for you to organize your reading and then the integration with the study supports. Do what works best for you. But for this one, after you've read the materials in the book, but whether it be after class or before class, you will come into the study support for tort law, click on whatever chapter you are working on, and apparently I was working in chapter 3 already, and work through the various materials that are available to you. If you don't yet have your if you don't yet have your tort law book, a good way to prepare for class on Thursday night is to click in here to the study support and take a look at the chapter outlines, because it'll break down all the material for you nicely. So that's a good way if you don't yet have your book or don't feel that you'll have it in time to prepare for Thursday or for Thursday in general. But the chapter outlines are incredibly helpful to take a look at prior to class. But basically, you can just work through the various materials that are available here to you, and at the end of the support for each chapter, you will find a chapter quiz. And just like the quizzes within Essential Skills, these are just for you. You can take them as many times as you want. And again, you can take them either once you have completed a chapter or when you're getting ready for your tort law exam, or both, whatever works best. And again, each chapter is structured the same way. If you have problems with the Flash files, there is a non-Flash version of the study support up here via this link. It's not as fun as the Flash files, of course, but it is all the same content. Now, one of the main, troubleshooting issues that I handle when it comes to the study support, students will often tell me that they click on one of the tabs and they'll just see that spinning wheel, and the content will never load. Now we saw the spinning wheel for just a couple of seconds, and then the content did load fairly quickly thereafter. I sometimes get emails, I've seen the spinning wheel for 25 minutes and nothing is loading. Please don't stare at that spinning wheel for 25 minutes. And that does have a name. Someone told me once what the name was, but spinning wheel seems to really just reflect what we are looking at. If you do see that spinning wheel, don't stare at it for 25 minutes or even 25 seconds. It just means that your system is having a problem loading the files. So I would strongly recommend that you switch browsers. Now, I don't know why the browser switch works. It does 99% of the time, but if you switch browsers, that will generally solve the problem. Now, I access the site via Chrome. Whenever I run into any kind of site conflict, I usually switch over to Firefox. But certainly, whichever browser you're comfortable with and whichever one you feel is working best for you, use that for the site. And then if you have a problem, then move on to your second favorite browser. Got another question. Password to this site. Again, it's whatever password you created for you. So if you're having any password issues as far as either the study support is concerned or the main ParalegalSpace login, please do reach out to me directly, and I am happy to assist you with that. But this is the password for the study support, is whatever password you created. All right, then labs on demand, 3 additional interactive labs to bring to your attention as you are working through your materials in Essential Skills. One of them is the Legal Research Lab. Now, the main thing that you're going to do in the legal research lab will be under the Law Library Lab. And for anyone who has worked through or who attended an information session, you'll know that we have a lot of slides about the Law Library Lab. So here it is in practice. Now, you can't do actual searchable research in the Law Library Lab, but this is an area of the site where you can familiarize yourself with the types of materials you will encounter in an actual law library and on Westlaw and Lexis. So once you are starting the study of legal research, you will want to click in here and start familiarizing yourself with those materials. So to work through the law library, you'll click on whatever you would like to know more about. In this case, it's American Law Reports. And then the site will choose that for us. And thankfully it found it. And then over here on the right hand side, you can click through each one of these links at the top here. So the cover, you can take a look at what the book is all about. It'll pop up over here on the left hand side, and you can scroll through and learn all about it. Index, we'll take a look inside, see how the materials are organized. And again, just figure out the best way to research in these materials, whether you are using them in a law library or online, and the best way to use them in your legal writing. Is it primary authority, secondary authority? How do I find what I'm looking for? How do I be an efficient researcher? Because of course being an efficient researcher is an incredible skill to have, and a wanted skill that attorneys want their paralegals to have. So please do click around in the law library, just kind of get a sense of what it's all about, how things work, where you can find things, how to find things, how materials are updated, supplemented, etc. So again, very helpful once you are beginning your study of legal research. For Westlaw and Lexis, of course, you can log straight into Westlaw and Lexis. Oopsie, I'm going back to the syllabus. You can log straight into Westlaw and Lexis to get that training. So that is very helpful for you. And again, Westlaw and Lexis have such good resources these days. So please do work through that. Legal writing labs. This is where you will find templates for the writing assignments that you will prepare in Essential Skills. We will post more templates for you over the course of the semester, some more very Texas-centric templates, and things that you will come across in practice. But there's no reinventing the wheel in the law, so we all always start with a template. Click on Texas Legal Writing Labs, and this is where you'll find the templates for each one of the documents you will prepare. So if you are working on your interoffice memo for Essential Skills and want to get a sense of what that memo is all about, you can click on the Memo tab at the top here, get that memo template, and then over here on the right-hand side, choose the document you are working on. Directly below it, you can listen to an audio lecture, and then a step-by-step guide of each one of the components that you need to include in that document. So that is very helpful as you are getting into your writing assignments for Essential Skills to have those templates. I can probably And now, at this point, I have to say I can count on two hands the number of documents that I have started completely from scratch in practice. But templates are very, very helpful to, just to help you kickstart your legal writing, especially if you've never seen an interrogatory before or a request for admission before or an interoffice memo before. It's very helpful to have that frame of reference to help you get started. And then one more lab under the labs on demand, the citations lab. Just kind of put this in your back pocket for when you get to the study of citations in Essential Skills. It is very important that you know how to both read and write citations. A citation is how you find a case. When you see a case name, there will be a series of letters and numbers after that case, and it tells you exactly when the case was decided, what court, and you'll know, is this a case that I can use in my legal writing? Is this a case that's going to be helpful to me, or is this case in a completely different jurisdiction? So it will only be persuasive and not mandatory authority on my court. So you do want to get comfortable with, again, both reading and writing state and federal citations. Writing also because if a judge wants to pull up a case, or I should say a law clerk for a judge wants to pull up a case that you have cited in your legal writing, you want to make sure that you get that citation down correctly, because they're not going to do your homework for you to get the proper citation. So again, once you get there in Essential Skills, just know it's here, put it in your back pocket, and you will be able to work through that. Now, as far as checking your hours, unfortunately, I was hoping that our site had the helpful check hours link, but it does not. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the Home tab at the top here, and then click, oh God, we don't have to click the back button a million times. This is not helpful. I'm going to ask our tech team, because some of our sites the have a check hours link, so I'm not sure why we don't have that on this one right now, because this is not very helpful. But and of course I just went right past it. So basically you'll back out of things. Again, that wasn't very helpful. I will do my best to get that updated for you. But you'll back out until you see what your hours are. What's also easy is if you would like me to check your hours for you, just drop me a line and I will happily pull those for you. It's not a problem, but I will speak to our tech team tomorrow to see if we can get an easy check hours link on the site, because I know that it is available on some versions. But that is how you would do it in the interim. Or again, just reach out to me and I would be more than happy to help you. Okay, now that is ParalegalSpace. We are going to now quickly go through the formula for success and the paralegal enrollment agreement. That one's only one page. We just posted that one tonight. But the paralegal formula for success, we are going to ask you to sign this and turn in the signature page to Xandra in class tomorrow. The same thing for the enrollment agreement. But by your signature, you're acknowledging that you understand all of the terms of the formula for success. I actually like to call it the recipe for success, but that's just me. I promised Xandra I wouldn't call it recipe for success tonight, but in any case, it is the formula for success, and it does set out a course overview, much of which we've already discussed just in kind of going through the site this evening. Also some university policies as far as your classroom and signing in and your name tents. Again, if you want a nickname on your name tent, email Xandra before tomorrow. So please do be sure that you familiarize yourself with the various university policies. Contact information for your program administrators. If you need us, this is how you can find us, and certainly your instructors will be providing you with their preferred contact information in class. We also have a paralegal student code of conduct, so hopefully you've all taken at least a peek at this. We're not going to go through it word for word because we've already been here for a little while. I don't want to take up your entire evening, but there are some provisions I would like to draw to your attention. As far as attendance is concerned, it's important, so you are required to attend class. If you miss more than 25% of your essential skills classes, and that's more than 4 classes, so that's a pretty good amount over the course of the semester, you will not pass essential skills. If you miss more than 25% of each substantive course, so that's about 1 class and then some, you will not pass the substantive class. And if you miss more than 1 day of the career series at the end of the semester, you will not pass that career series portion. So please do make every effort to attend class. Certainly we understand that things do come up over the course of the semester. Emergencies happen, traffic happens, people are late, things happen. Please, if you are going to miss class, please do reach out to your program administrators and instructors and let us know about that. All of your instructors are practicing attorneys. Generally things, I think I can also count on one hand the number of times we've had any issues with instructors running late to class. But again, your instructors are practicing attorneys. They may be in trial, they may be in depositions, they could get stuck, things happen. If something happens, we will advise you as soon as we find out. Either Xandra will come to class and let you know, we'll post an announcement, but we will certainly get a message to you. Please do wait at least 30 minutes after the start of class time if your instructor has not yet shown up. But again, I think I can count on one hand the number of times this has happened. So, you know, we're generally good at getting you a message as soon as reasonably possible. But again, you know, things do come up over the course of semester, as they do for everyone. Now, if you are going to miss a class, you are responsible for getting the missed notes, missed materials, reaching out to your instructor to let him or her know you're going to miss, and of course notifying your program coordinators that you are not going to make it. Now, as far as your written work is concerned, as we already discussed, your work is due when it is due. It is due on ParalegalSpace on or before the due date and time, absent some sort of documented emergency. If you are late submitting your work, there is a 1-week grace period for submissions. However, there is a points deduction for that. So in essential skills, if you submit your one writing assignment within that grace period, there will be a reduction of 10 points. Second late assignment is 20 points, and then the third late assignment will not be accepted. Nothing will be accepted after that grace period. So if you're going to be late, try not to, of course, but it happens. Get ready for the points deduction, but please do, you know, please do submit it during that dress code. Then we just got a I just got a question about dress code, so I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, anyway. anyway, it's been a long day, I guess. So please do submit within the grace period. Same thing for substantives. For each one of your substantive classes, you will only have one written assignment generally, so there will be a reduction of 20 points for any assignment that is submitted during that 7-day grace period. Now, all of your work should be prepared as you would prepare any assignment for any class anywhere. Please type it, put your name on it, double space, number your pages. For essential skills, you are also going to put all of your essential skills assignments in your client file folder, and that you'll learn a whole lot more about over the course of the semester. It is the that blue folder that came in your, that blue file folder that came in your essential skills bundle. So please do, have hard copies ready to go to put in that file folder. And really, please do keep your assignments, whether it be hard copy or electronic copy. I had an instance once where the semester had ended and I reached out to a student and asked her if she would be so kind as to resubmit her contract law assignment because she hadn't copied and pasted her work into the text box the first time. She simply attached a document and it was the wrong document. She just clicked the wrong document. So I reached out to her and asked, would you be, and it was maybe within 3 or 4 days after the class ended. I said, would you be so kind as to resubmit your contract law assignment? It didn't come through right the first time. And she told me that since the program was over, she had gotten rid of everything for the program, all of her assignments, just literally everything she had done. I was like, well, well, now you have to rewrite it. And she did. She had to rewrite the assignment. Listen, you can purge what you want to purge, but wait until all your grades are in. But please do until all your grades are in, but thereafter also, because everything can be used as a writing sample, please do keep hard or electronic copies of all of your work. Your grades will be posted not about, 2 weeks after they are submitted. You guys are a big class too, so you're going to see that tomorrow. We have a nice big class for summer. And again, with your instructors being practicing attorneys, sometimes I should say, give or take 14 days after the assignment has been submitted. We don't know what our attorneys' trial schedules and client schedules and deposition schedules and such are like in their during their quote-unquote day job. So, give or take within 14 days after submission, you will have your grades for your various assignments. For each one of your exams, the site can auto-grade the exam, so you will have instant grading gratification. The only questions that cannot be auto-graded are short answer questions, but for the most part, all of your exams will be multiple choice, true-false. There might be some citation questions here and there, other short answer questions, but you will know about that prior to actually clicking on that exam link. Dress code. I was putting the dress code into the grace period before. Is there a dress code is the question. I wouldn't say that there's a formal dress code, but I know that I would say kind of business casual. There's so many jokes, and we'll get to this. I'm kind of using one of my lines too early, but there's so many jokes, about lawyers, and lawyers are sharks, and the legal profession and everything. And it is a wonderful profession. I would not be in it if it was not a wonderful profession. But it is a profession, and you want to look, I would say, look like you are or dress like you are meeting with an attorney or with clients. You don't need to wear a suit. You don't need to get crazy in that way, but certainly don't I know it's hot in Texas these days, so probably not, like cutoffs and a tank top and things like that. Businessy casual, but as if you would be prepared to meet with a client at any point in time. I wish I took my own advice. I can't tell you how many times I actually early on in my career got a call that I had to run down to court, and I wasn't quite dressed for court. So there were a couple times when I had to go to court not quite dressed for court and had to share my sincere apologies with the judge. I quickly learned to keep court clothes in my office, but I would say dress as if you are, going into a meeting or with a client. Otherwise, there's not, a formal dress code, but again, just keeping in mind, the professionalism of the profession, dress accordingly. Okay, we are kind of almost done, so let's roll through the rest of our rules. As far as grading and such are concerned, in essential skills, you will have two graded components. The exam component will consist of your Volume 1 exam, Volume 2 exam, and your comprehensive exam. Volume 1 and Volume 2 will count for 25% each of your exam grade, and the comprehensive 50%. You must pass essential skills exams with a 70% or higher. You must also pass essential skills writing component with a 70% or higher. You can see here at the bottom of the page the breakdown of each one of the essentials assignments is set out for you. Of course, a demand letter is not going to be weighed as heavily as, say, a trial brief, so you can see the breakdown right here of how everything counts and is factored into your grade. You must pass both the writing component and the exam component of essential skills with a 70% or higher. So if you write like Hemingway and get a cumulative of 100% in assignments, but are not the best exam taker, and that's okay, it happens, get a 50 on your essential skills exams grade, you will not pass essential skills. So 70% in both component. Same thing for your substantive classes, 70% or higher. The breakdown for your substantive classes, 25% participation, class participation, 25% assignment, and 50% exams. So 70 is the magic number. Those are your program completion requirements, 70% or higher in each one of those components. So 570s or higher, essentials exams, essentials assignments, torts, contracts, and procedures. You also must attend the career series towards the end of the semester. And the career series is incredibly helpful, so we shouldn't have to force you to attend that or say it's required. It is really, really helpful. Just there are wonderful instructors who will come in and talk to you all about getting into the legal profession and drafting your cover letter and your resume and just kind of honing your interviewing skills and such. So it really is a wonderful series and incredibly, incredibly helpful. So whether it was, required or not, I would suggest you do it. Definitely do take advantage of that career series. But, you need to complete that career series to successfully complete the program. If for some reason you have any issues, you do not successfully complete the program with a 70 or higher in your program components, or for here the career series, the exact breakdown, 66 or higher in the career series, you do have an option to resit. So please do, hopefully you don't have to familiarize yourself with the resitting not rules, but with how resitting works, but it is set out for you right here. I just got a question, is there a test schedule? Yes, if you take a look at the syllabus, at least for essential skills, you will see when your Volume 1 exam will be opened on ParalegalSpace during week 8, week 15, Volume 2, the comprehensive a week later. You will have a 1-week exam window for each exam. So for Volume 1, this exam will open at some point during week 8, and then it will be open for a week. The same for the other exams. For your substantive classes, you can expect the exam to open within 2 to 3 days after the last class. and then the exam will remain open for a week and be available to you for that week. Once an exam window opens, we will post an announcement on ParalegalSpace and let you know, the window for your tort law exam is now open. It will remain open until such and such date and time. Okay, let's see, where was I with this? Okay. Rule 5, using the website, the study support, we already went through that as we were clicking through the site. Please do use it. It's very helpful. There's so much there for you. So, do utilize all of it. Communicating with instructors. Your instructors will let you know their preferred method of communication. Please do give your instructors and administrators at least 72 hours to get back to you. Generally, everyone will get back to you much, much faster than that. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten an email and then maybe 10 minutes later gotten a follow-up email. So please do give us an opportunity to write back to you. Everyone, just like you guys are, have work and families and things outside of the paralegal program. All of your program administrators have other programs that they're managing. Your instructors are also practicing law. Give us an opportunity to get back to you. If you have an emergency, you need immediate assistance, please do feel free to reach out to either Zandra and or myself, and we will assist you with whatever issues you may have. But certainly if it's a par for the course type email, give everybody an opportunity to get back to you before following up. And I hate talking about these rules, but I do still kind of have to. Ethics and plagiarism. All your work is your own. No group projects, no copying from the internet. It's happened. It's not happened at Texas. It's happened in other programs. Any written assignment that's plagiarized, you'll get a 0 for the first offense. Second offense, you will fail that program component. Third offense, you will be respectfully requested to leave the program. Now, I've had a couple instances where, and I don't even know how students thought they would get this past us. Two students submitted the exact same assignment, literally just changed their name at the top of the page. That's not okay, and it was obvious, open and obvious. So don't do that. Had another instance wherein a student copied and pasted paragraphs of text from a legal website. However, it was a British legal website, so it wasn't even the right country. It wasn't even helpful to the question that he or she was answering. But please do your own work. Please, if you are citing from a website or a book or a case, please just cite properly. Just let us know. This is, quote a whole paragraph. That's fine. But let us know you're quoting a whole paragraph. Don't pass it off as your own work. As far as the taking of exams are concerned, again, all of your exams are going to be done online on ParalegalSpace on your own time at 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The majority of your exams are going to be closed book, and that may seem counterintuitive that an exam is closed book and there's no proctor, no one's walking behind you to make sure, you're not flipping through your book to find the answers. But rest assured that if you're spending all of your time flipping through your book to find an answer for an online exam, you're not going to finish that exam. The test is structured so that each question you're going to have to think to answer it. It's not going to be, I mean, some of them will be gimme questions. Obviously, you're going to always find a couple of those questions on any exam, but for the most part, you're going to have to analyze the question and answer it. So it's not going to be quite so simple as just flipping through your book to find the answer. Also, if an exam is set for an hour, once that hour window is up, if you haven't finished that exam, no matter where you are in the exam is going to submit, and the site is simply going to grade what you've answered. So you want to make sure you get to each one of your questions, and that you don't have any issues with that. So please do adhere to each and every one of the rules. And then professionalism. I hate having this conversation with a group of adults, but it is what it is, and we have to do it. And again, it's not something that has come up really at all, maybe once or twice, but but please do be professional and be kind, be respectful to one another, to your instructors, to your program administrators. Treat others as you would want to be treated. As I mentioned earlier, you know, there are so many jokes out there about lawyers, but it is quite an honorable profession, and attorneys do have a code of ethics that we need to adhere to. They Paralegals fall under the umbrella of that code, so you know you do need to conduct yourself in such a way in all of your dealings to uphold those ethics and to be professional. So you know, please do that in the program as you would do that in your offices, whether they be law offices or something else. Now, if you have any questions about the formula for success, or again, the recipe as I like to call it, please do feel free to ask me either here right now or via email later. But get ready, because tomorrow night Xandra will be collecting your signed acknowledgement pages. So please do have these ready to turn into her in class tomorrow night. The one other document you are going to have to sign, do I really still use AOL? Yes, do I personally really still use AOL? I do personally. I don't know, where do we even see that? I personally still use AOL, but I barely use my personal email anymore because I have so many email addresses. So I have a Gmail. It's just such a pain to change things over. But yes, I do still personally use AOL. Anyway, thanks for asking. Okay, one more thing now. Enrollment agreement. This is yet another document that Xandra would like you to sign and turn into class tomorrow night. So if you will take a look at this one, it just kind of lays out your general understanding of the program, the formula for success, and the various policies of the paralegal program, the Center for Professional Education, and UT Austin. Also, it goes through your how to withdraw. Hopefully no one wants to withdraw from the program. You will like it, whether I use AOL or not, and I do. I can't get away from it. It's just such a pain to move everything over. I've had it for so long. Anyway, we could talk about this later. Withdrawing from the course, transferring from the course, the refund policy, and such. So please do read through. This one, happily, is just a one-page document, so it shouldn't take you too long. So please do read through this and also have this page signed and ready to go to turn in to Xandra in class tomorrow night. So, I'm losing my voice already. Uh-oh. That's basically it. That is ParalegalSpace. That's the formula for success. That is this enrollment agreement that we went through. If anyone has any questions, please go ahead and feel free to type them into the questions box. I've kept you all for a long time tonight, so you may not want to deal with listening to me talk anymore. But the most important thing I want to convey to you right now is we all want you to have a wonderful semester. We want you to learn a lot. We want you to have fun. Please know that we are always available for you if you have any kind of questions or need any assistance. So once again, my email is svp@paralegalspace.com. Not AOL, svp@paralegalspace.com. Please feel free to reach out to me with any kind of technical questions, any materials questions, anything like that. And I am happy to assist. Any kind of UT-centric questions that you may have, please do reach out to Xandra Gilmore at UT. She is wonderful and she is more than happy to assist you. Here's her contact information right here, xandra.g@austin.utexas.edu. As far as where these documents are on ParalegalSpace, they are posted under the resources tab for you. So you can find here the enrollment agreement, that one page that we just looked at, and the paralegal formula for success. So you can find those right there. As far as we got a question about essential skills tomorrow. Oh, about your client. Okay, if anyone has been flipping through, has already done the reading for essential skills, and I'm going to put Veronica's audio back on in case Veronica wants to chime in here before we log off tonight. If anyone has already flipped through chapter 1 of essential skills, you will see that there are about 40 or so different clients and fact patterns. We'll see how they're assigned. You won't pick, but we'll see how you'll all get a client tomorrow, but we'll see how you will get that client. So
Yeah,
don't
it's just
worry. Go
it's going
ahead,
to be pretty
Veronica.
random.
It's going to be
I was
pretty
going to say it's going to be pretty random.
No, that's the easiest. That's actually the easiest way to do it, especially in such a big class, because if everybody wants question one, client one, that always ends up being a battle then. So. All right, Veronica, I know you're going to see everybody tomorrow. You've now listened to me for an hour and a half as well, so I'm sure that you're ready to get going. But if you have any parting words for everybody before tomorrow night, by all means, and then we will call it a night.
No, I think we're good.
All right,
I'll just
excellent.
see everyone tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Veronica. Thank you, paralegals, for listening to me drone on for an hour and a half. I actually prefer Westlaw. That was a question I just got, Westlaw or Alexis. I go back and forth all the time, though. I'm in Westlaw's corner right now, but that could change at any minute. So, and again, they are substantially similar. I got one more question here, how to log into the study support. If you click on the Parastudent Login tab, and then the blue lock. And if this is your first time doing so, you will click here to register as a UTexas Summer 2016 Paralegal. But if you have already registered, this is where you will enter your email and the password you have chosen. Tomorrow, I will follow up with a lot of announcements, some odds and ends announcements, just kind of talking about time zone and passwords and the messages function. But really, most importantly, I will post a study support announcement that will break everything down for you, so you'll have it right in front of you. But if there are no more questions, and again, my email is svp@paralegalspace.com, so please do feel free to reach out if anything should come up. I'm going to let you all go for tonight because you got a big week, a big 4 months ahead of you, a busy 4 months ahead of you. So I want to thank you all for your kind attention. Have a wonderful first night of class and many more nights of class thereafter. Again, like I said, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're in wonderful hands. And, have a great semester. And I will see you online on Paralegal Space. So, Veronica, thank you so much for attending this evening. I did record the session, so whenever I kind of went off track for a minute, it's in perpetuity now. We can listen to it, and I will be posting that recording on Paralegal Space tomorrow. So if anybody wants to listen to me go on and on again, or wants to review a particular area, or wants to make fun of me about my AOL email forever, that's totally cool. I can take it. So, please do be on the lookout for that recording tomorrow. But until then, thank you so, so much for your kind attention tonight, for your good humor, for your teasing. It looks like we are going to have a really great semester at UT, and I'm excited about it. So, Veronica, again, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, Stephanie.
paralegals, and I'll see y'all online. Have a great night. Good night.